Hello, it's me, Daryl, Florida Catholic guy. Earlier than usual on my walk today, sun's still up. About 6:45, so you got probably, let's see, 7:15, 8:15, probably about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes before sunset. So still a lot of daylight left, which is good. So the big news is, I don't know when it happened. I think it happened sometime yesterday. Reached over 100 subscribers. And I think I said something about one of my videos. When I reached 100 subscribers, I would do some kind of drawing or some kind of something for a prize. So probably be some kind of a trivia question is the best way to do it. That way it gives everybody a chance, and I don't know, whoever answers the question first will get the prize. I don't know what it'll be. I'm thinking something simple like, maybe a gift certificate to Amazon or something like that. That always works for people. I'm not rich, so it's not going to be like a free motorcycle that some people do. But I think it would be cool to give out, something like, maybe something like a $25 gift certificate to Amazon. Who couldn't use something like that, right? So I'll just have to think of a question and I'll post it. Maybe at the end of one of my videos to make sure you actually watch the video to the end. But I'll have to think of something good. Not too easy, not too hard. So yeah, another beautiful day. It's on the hot side, it's probably like 91, 92, somewhere around that for a high today. Probably still right around that. Humidity is fairly low. It's comfortable. It's not as bad as it could be this time of year. No rain yesterday, no rain today. A little better chance of rain tomorrow, and a good chance of rain on Friday. Friday will be a general scattered rain showers, probably about 50% chance. So that'll be, it's been a good couple of dry days. Good to have those every once in a while around here. Took my mom to get her hair done today for the first time since the COVID stuff started. She was real happy about that. It's been a few months, and she doesn't like to have longish hair. She told me today that she was actually thinking of, when we were in the middle of this, when she couldn't get her hair done, she was actually thinking about shaving it off. But then she read something about even when you shave it off, you have to have it done because it doesn't grow back evenly. So she figured that wouldn't be a good idea. So, of course, me, I don't have to worry about that. I know I look funny with shaved hair, but I wouldn't look as funny as my mom would. And she did say she didn't want to keep the shaved head, so that was kind of not an option. But she was happy. It was good for her to get out of the house. She really, I don't think she's been out of the house at all since the all this stuff started, because all her doctor's appointments had been canceled and rescheduled, and she's got some in July now, so that's starting to come back around, which is good. So I gotta work on getting some doctor's appointments of mine done. So hopefully that'll be good. I'm having a rough time controlling my blood sugars, but yeah, it's going to be a struggle lifelong, I guess. I did good for about a week, and then I got off track and never got back on track, so not good. And still want to get my boat out there, but just been laziness. I haven't been out. I don't know if I'll try to go out tomorrow or not. Maybe, maybe not. My dog already took his number 2 before we left, so he might not have to do it, but you never know. I have to keep an eye on him. Sit on the bench that's in the shade here. So, yeah. See some clouds over there. I don't think they're really building into anything. It's kind of dry, like I said, so it doesn't look like we'll get any rain today. I think it was yesterday when I was out waiting for we ordered dinner from DoorDash, and when I was out waiting for it, there was just one little cloud that was over my head, and there was like 2 drops of rain that I felt, for real. It was weird. Well, guess we'll get in some real talk now. I think it was 2 cops. I don't think there was any more than that. In Atlanta, that shot that guy. I don't remember his name. There's been so many of them now that they all blend together. But I was in the car during the press conference, and I was listening to this prosecutor guy, and some of the things he said was just lies. I mean, he started off by saying that this guy was cooperative and was happy and nice and cordial to the police officers and had a nice conversation, and he didn't show any signs of being impaired, and he just was a nice guy. And I was waiting for him to say he was a good boy, and he was an aspiring rapper. I was waiting for that, but or his parents come on and say, he's a good boy. Because that's what they always do. And, I don't know, I just get sick of that. Because found out this guy, I'm sure you've all heard, or maybe you didn't, he had served time in prison for beating the shit out of his family members. Excuse my French. He was on a prison sentence for that. And he got out early because of COVID. So that's why he was out on the street instead of serving his time like a man. So, and I guess, well, maybe the prosecutor was right until he wasn't. He didn't mention the fact that it was after that oh, I guess he is going to take a dump. All right. The prosecutor didn't mention that it was after he was cordial and everything like that, that then he wasn't. Then he hit the police officer, punched him in the face, wrestled around on the ground with him. Oops. Wrestled around on the ground with him for a while. And eventually grabbed his taser, ran away, and watch where you step, Daryl. Alright, Shadow, where did you go here? I'm worried it'll step right in it somewhere here. You know, I'm not going to keep looking. If I can't find it, I can't find it. Probably already stepped in it. Ah, I found it. There we go. And no, I didn't step in it, so that's good. So, anyway, getting back to the story. We grabbed a cop's taser, then started running away, and the cop, one of the cops, shot their taser at him. Didn't have any effect at all on him. He just kept squirming away, and then he turned around, and when I say turned around, he didn't actually turn his body around. He just turned his head around like this, with the taser like this. So, obviously, when he shot the taser, he wasn't completely turned around, so when the cop shot him, it was in the back. But come on, Shadow, let's go. Stop eating grass. You need some water? You want some water? Want some water? Yeah, there he goes. Drinking some water. But supposedly, now I didn't see it. Supposedly it wasn't on the video anyway. That oh, he's thirsty. Want some more water? I guess after the shooting, come on, Shadow, come on, let's go. After the shooting, I guess one of the officers, Shadow, okay, go ahead, go pee. One of the officers, I guess, put his foot on the guy's body, on the back of it somewhere, I don't know. And I guess they didn't render any medical aid. Come on, Shadow, let's go. Which, all right, I'll give you that. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But bottom line is, all right, if you're gonna go after the officers for putting their foot on his body and not rendering aid, that's fine. Charge them with that. You don't charge them with capital murder for putting their foot on the back after they shot him. You charge them for whatever. I mean, whatever that be, violation of policy is basically what it is. So I don't even know if that's a criminal offense. I mean, I would say that would possibly justify the firing, but I mean, there might be, I don't know if it would be a crime not rendering aid to somebody who justifiably shot, but so the only thing I'll give the prosecutor is that the violation of policy for putting their foot on the back, putting the foot on his back and not rendering aid. That's all I could come up with that. And again, that's, I'd say, more of a departmental disciplinary thing than it would be a criminal offense. But I could be wrong on that. But it definitely wouldn't be a death penalty sentence, which is what they claim that the officers are guilty of. So you got the facts. All right, I'll give them that the guy was cooperative for however long he was until they placed him under arrest. Oh, and that's the other thing the prosecutor said. They didn't tell him he was under arrest for drunk driving. Well, I listened to the video. Don't know if they said drunk driving, but they actually said that he was under arrest. He said, place your hands behind your back, you're under arrest. And that's when he started fighting with him. Now, I know by law in this country, the police have to tell you that you're under arrest when they arrest you, but they don't have to tell you why you're under arrest, actually, until they charge you. Most of the time they do tell you why, but they don't have to. And, you know, it's the thing, you know, once they arrest you, they can add on charges, they can drop charges and stuff like that, but that's not relevant to this. They did tell him he was under arrest. He did start resisting. He did start punching the police officers. He did grab their taser. He did try to fire the taser at the cop. And because of that, the officer, in my opinion, legitimately feared for his life and fired his gun. And, oh, I forgot, before the firing of the gun, the other officer tried to tase him again. Had no effect on him. And that's important, because they did tase him, or did try to tase him, but the tasing had no effect on him. So their only option after that is to shoot him. So, you're calling that a death penalty murder case? I'm sorry, but if we have a fair justice system in this world, those officers will have their cases thrown out of court, because they shouldn't be on trial at all, except, you know, if by some chance putting foot on the at that point probably a dead body, and not rendering medical aid, if that's some kind of a charge. That would be the only charge that I would say is legitimate in this case. And like I said, I tend to believe that's more of a disciplinary thing within the department than a law. But look what's happening with the police officers around here. Anytime they shoot anybody of color, or probably just anybody at all, white or black, although more so if you're black, you're going to be under scrutiny. And it's going to be more of a, you got to prove your innocence instead of you got to prove they're guilty. And you know, my county is hiring sheriff's deputies. The sheriff just put out a tweet, and I think it was on Facebook, that they're hiring. And so, me being the smart ass that I am, I had to put a comment up there saying, I wouldn't do that job if you paid me $1 million an hour, even if I was more physically fit and healthier. And sadly, I'm sure most of the people in this country are going to feel the same way. People that might want to become police officers aren't going to want to go near that job. The other thing, some of the reforms they want cops to get these, 4-year degrees, or have 2 years of training or whatever, and all that's well and good. And there are some departments that do require that. I know some departments require a 2-year degree. Other departments, high school diploma's all right. I know military's a big thing. If you're a veteran, you're pretty much qualified in most departments, at least to get extra points on your exam and move to the top of the hiring line, which is the way it should be. But you're paying, most police officers are starting off probably around, depending on the area, 20 to 30 grand an hour, or not an hour, a year. And people just aren't going to do a job like that for that little money. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. A job where now you're taking all kinds of shit from everybody. You're having rocks and bricks thrown at you. You're having piss and shit thrown at you. Dealing with these rioters and looters. And now dealing with prosecutors that want to prosecute you every time you have to arrest somebody and have to use force on them. I mean, it was already a thankless job. Now it's just a job that I don't think anybody would want anymore. And I've seen it already. You know, police officers that have been on a job 15, 20 years are quitting. And just the way it's going to be. And pretty soon we're going to have chaos in society, which in some areas we have it already. And when you got politicians that don't support the police, you're going to have big trouble. Big trouble. And there's a video of a female cop on, I think it was Twitter today, called her Officer Karen because of all the, making fun of Karens in this world. And she ordered a meal at McDonald's somewhere or wherever she was at. And she had just worked, I guess, a long shift or something. She said she hadn't eaten in a long time. And she just she ordered her food beforehand. They didn't have it ready. She was whining because she had to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Then they told her to pull forward like they do with a lot of people. I've had to do that before. And she had to wait and wait and wait. And they said they come out with her coffee. And they gave her coffee, and she started hysterically crying and saying, "I told them, don't bring any more of my food. I'm too scared to even eat the food from McDonald's because I don't know what they've done with it." And I know they just had this incident, and I think it was New York, where some officers got poisoned. But the thing is, girl, if you're ordering at McDonald's in the first place, how can you claim that you're scared? I mean, come on. I mean, use your head. And in fairness, and then she goes on saying, "Oh, you're so mistreated and nobody appreciates us. And if you see somebody, just say thank you, because nobody says thank you to me anymore." And, I get it. I do. It's a thankless job. It always has been. But you can't... You can't go to McDonald's and then complain that you're afraid to get your dinner. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way, at least for me. And I can understand, she probably, with all this stuff going on, she probably was having a mental breakdown, which is, I guess, somewhat understandable. But if you're at that point of having a mental breakdown, go see a shrink. Don't go on YouTube or Twitter, because it doesn't work that way. I question whether somebody like that should even have a gun and a badge. But I can see this happening more and more because, just with the pressure they're all under. And at the same token, I think it's stupid what she did. I can somewhat understand it, and I can see it happening more. And this country's not in a good place if we don't have any cops anymore. And it might come to that, because who wants to do that? Who wants to do this kind of job? No, I don't. Most people I know wouldn't. Anyway, I'm almost home. So I'll say good night. God bless you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.